Skyblock is a pretty complicated game. This makes it so that many players easily get confused and also misinterpret many aspects of the game. This leads many new players to create some misconceptions about the game, either from old advice from old YouTube videos or from even new advice from newer channels. So in this video, I'll be going over some misconceptions that many players have about the game that are outright false or not as true as some people might think. But before the video starts, make sure to subscribe because I post content like this daily, and if you do enjoy this content, please consider subscribing. And back to the video. One misconception made by many players is that it's not worth putting water inside pumpkin farms. The reason most people think that putting water in pumpkin farms is bad is because many players will end up putting the water just like this in big rows, just like this, which take up a huge amount of efficiency. If you look on my island instead, you'll see that I have a few water blocks placed per row. So you can see that this increases the efficiency much more than the big lines of water, because I still have a decent amount of pumpkins here, and it still even spreads to many other layers that I have on my pumpkin farm. And the reason water is so good is because water makes it so your crops regrow very fast. And the amount it increases it is almost equivalent to an extra farm. So if you have 2 watered pumpkin farms, it is almost equivalent to 3 unwatered farms. The next misconception is that you can never profit from slayers. Even though most slayers are not profitable, the reason this is not true is there's actually quite a few slayers that you can actually make profit from. The 2 main profitable slayers are Spider, Tarantula, Broodfather 3s, and sometimes 4s, and Sven Packmasters 3s and usually 4s. The reasons these slayers can be profitable is because the drops that you can get from them sell way more compared to Revenant Flesh or a Sightblade. The reason something like the Tarantula Slayer could be so profitable is because the 20% drop will actually give you profit. And even if you don't get the 20% drop from something like a tier 3, you can get something like the Tarantula Talisman. And because of how many tier 3s you can do for cheap compared to tier 4, the amount of times you have the chance to getting a Tarantula Talisman makes it so that you actually have a chance to profit, a actual high chance to profit if you do enough tier 3s. As after a specific amount, you theoretically should get a Tarantula Talisman, and that will theoretically sell for more money than it took to get you. The reason wolves are actually profitable is because the tier 3 wolf, the wolf teeth, actually sell for a lot of coins. This makes all of the rare drops actually into profit, which makes it the best short-term slayer for profit compared to any other slayer in the game. Then, the tier 4 wolf is also profitable because even with theoretically bad luck, the amount the overflux gives in price and the amount people will pay for it makes the overflux really good, as you will probably make profit from selling the overflux if you get it, even with bad luck. So, in total, the best for long term is tier 4 wolves, then under that is tier 4 or tier 3 Tarantula, and then right under that, the best short term profit is tier 3 wolves. Another misconception by many players is due to old evidence of when crafting an item yourself would actually be cheaper than buying it off the AA. The reason this was once true is because when new items were released, the way that money was made from them is because many players were too lazy to craft these items. This means a few hundred people would probably go and buy the materials and craft these items for the people who either didn't have the recipe or were too lazy to craft them. These people would pay a premium price for this, and people could profit off of it. But now, this is not the case, because there are not as many new items in the game. many players will pay less than usual because most players have already gotten this item, and most of the items that are on the AH, for example, let's say a tarantula helmet, most of the tarantula helmets are people who already owned one but now decided that they've upgraded to maybe superior and they don't need it anymore. So there's going to be an influx of items like this, which causes the price of the product to actually go down, as there is much more supply than demand, as more people have already got this item and don't need it as much as there's people who have already got it and are trying to get rid of it. For a quick example, you can see that when I buy order for 80 strong fragments, it'll cost me around 1.1 million to make a chest plate. But you can see on the AH, even as a buy it now, which are usually overpriced, you can get a clean strong dragon chest plate as buy it now, which means you'll instantly get it for about 830k. So this means you're saving about 300k just because you bought it off the AH instead of the bazaar. The final two misconceptions have to do with pets and which are the best for XP. For each pet respectively, the Ocelot pet and the Squid pet give XP bonuses, this being the foraging XP bonus and the fishing XP bonus. This leads many players, including me at some points, to think that the XP bonus pets are the best for XP, but this is actually not the case. The true best method for XP are actually the legendary monkey pet, which I don't own, and the legendary dolphin pet or the epic dolphin pet. It doesn't really matter. I've done a test on my channel that the dolphin pet is definitively better than squid for XP, so you can check that out if you want. But if you don't believe me for the legendary monkey being the best for XP, you can even see that Forager Jade said the best forager in the world, who actually has double the XP needed for foraging 50, said the leg monkey is the best pet for foraging XP. So I think we can trust that the best pet for foraging XP is the legendary monkey. So those are some misconceptions that I have come up with and seen in my daily Skyblock playthroughs. So if you have any other misconceptions that you think a lot of players make sure to put them in the comments and consider subscribing if this helped you make maybe more money or made you learn something about the game that you had not known. And goodbye.